Venomous visions of victims of vengeance, penning this scripture, depictions of legends. I mix them and blend them and twist them and end them with sickening shifts and no risk of amendment. It's with the resentment and given attention cast in my direction. He's writhing and clenching the steel grip off the pick that ripped him open. You will feel sick to witness if you think I'm joking. His ribs were broken as a token of my thanks, found 3 miles downstream floating by the bank. Like a tank I fight your ranks and try to flank me, just silently accept your quiet spank, go by and thank me. No time for lanky awkward big talking fakers. I'm draped in the skin of a pig, stalking neighbours, talking dangerously loud to arouse their suspicion. I count and listen, then I'm pouncing mouse and kitten.
Hey yo, dead him like zombies, hombre. You got the book of life, strategize, mind battle and spray. Cut through your mind, cut your eye socket out. Fuckers wanna flow, my flows are bearing out. The baroness can't undress the fastest. Weaponry, I'm the gas, the sword swing the pastors. I'm sick when I blast this. Operation Dildo, you fuck slow, got blinds, bomb boards. Cut you down like Duke did hand so low. Wish you did in a polo. Seen through the sideways walk. Forces mind mental, crack me a dental. Pierce every part of your body. Magnetic magneto, straight through the thin. Snap your bones like Adamantium. You ain't winning. Y'all professional, think you correctly. Lyrically, mind battling, stretch me. I'm sick, snap you like a Nestle. Rappers don't even test me. I'm verbally vicious, lyrically mind. Put you in a pop figure, display you on my desk. You need the trigger. See I'm like the long arm of the law. Hang you on my desk like a microphone. Fuck around, I'll stay in the zone. Put you in the freezer, lip lock, deadlock, bedlock, padlock. Leave you dumbfounded, you soft like a pretzel, ain't got shit but you zest. I'm sick like a magic. Take a puff from my asthma, I blow through your brain like a spasm. I bring flow to your fire. I'm the ether, the kerosene, and the gasoline. You can't even mix with me. SH double, 3 Emcees.
Apparitions confirm my suspicions. Off the pier, it appears a boating accident recently happened. A log doused in gasoline lighted the area so we could see. I pull a few strings, put on a stretcher, stretch strap, saying he's seen better days, but that wasn't the same body from the other day. Son, I flicked my tongue like a cobra at the next victim. Her neck was gorgeous. I caressed it before I cut it open. The rogue slices to pieces to fit what remains into the sink and down the drain. It's a habit to feed. You're small like a hobbit and look like something that came from the wilds of Eldraine. I pacified the beast with no name and now it walks beside me. The teeth marks came back human. Fucking kid,
fuck around, I'll stay in the zone. Schooling D, always gonna be the coolest G. Spitting 3 like Megan P. In Syracuse where we got them silent things. Bang out hoes like Ed shows. Got so putting cakes and little openings. Niggas still can't see like Urkel. Sparking the herb on the Churchill. I got the Winston, so who you gon' call? If you daring to test, I'm associate. Epidemics, got you retirement like numbers on a jersey. Where's the pen so I can rearrange your end? Close the book on them, Smith and the West. Tap, check, big old breasts. I'll be back on MLB smooth grasshopper, low locker, menu caption on retractions. Similar to a betazoid, employing psychic sense, hence mention attention, terminating facing the nation, spaced out cadets. Unless I check the box and win a mile with the lamest. Facing, I'ma humiliate you. Got you, shorty bang, kamikaze. Fuck you, Liberace. I'm the blackest nigga on the mic, spitting gotcha. Thinking whether it's written or not. So fuck the haters and the niggas that spoon. Get it done like porn stars. I'm a game goons raining on buffoons. Like the great flood of Noah's Ark.
Take it back to days of amazement. Make it fat, the greatest latest arrangement. Places packed this latest engagement. Play this track, it's great entertainment. Great when you gave them your best when connections were developed 3 skeleton collections. Or thereabouts, don't wear them out but share around. Compare the sound, I dare you now to share your doubt, we wear the crown. When we're around, the town is popping, bouncing, hopping. Crowds are often loud, obnoxious while the boss is proudly watching. On this occasion, that soup bone, the dude known to loop those tunes so you folks don't lose hope. To and fro like you've got 2 homes, you and nude through your phone like you've got a new hoe. Too slow, I've moved over to new flows to bruise those folks who don't know this crew is too dope. It's hunting season for seasoned Emcees, and seizing their seeds is a reason for breathing. We need them for breeding elite teams with semen to take on this team of extreme fiendish demons. Coming through on horseback, torch that horde shack, call that a drawback, they're all whack. The next village, best to pillage either way. Strip the till, split the bill, hit the hills and leave today. On the prowl like a bear, I'm gonna growl, wonder how I can bear it. Want it now. Blood will spill and fill the hills, gutters still. The utter thrill becomes enough to muddle will. I wonder, will the sudden villainy unwillingly confuse the mission's purpose? If it gets blurred or twisted, worse, the vision's worthless. So give your service if you've got your goals in line, and understand the master plan, cause man, there are no holes in mine.
They only call me when they need me. I remember I asked for a hand once, and you sent me back an emoji. The bones in your fingers are delicate. In the center sits, cross-legged, a witch. I burn in torment. Sometimes when I spit, my lips get a little wet. In fact, what I can't hold on my person, I usually put in some sort of pack. To extract is to pull out forcibly. I extract a crude fashion axe that I threw like a tomahawk while on the back of a horse like Wyatt Earp. Mr. Yo goes under your Sherpa. It doesn't much matter once the blades got a hold of ya. They spun you around like a child.
Fuck around with your flu virus at mental crack through your dental. Put you in a card on my desk, pull you like an ace of spade. You ain't got shit but charades. Everything is a faded. Put down your elongated. Your minds ain't seen celebrated. Burn the ash. Don't play with me, I ain't got your cash. Take that pussy back, give me the Visa card. Y'all ain't even go hard, you can't even afford a go yard. Sick one out to light, ricochet off the tsunami. I got a wall breaking out of Godzilla's. Flow no one's in it. I'm like a heavy angel, weaponry gun in the same joint. Put you on my desk like an action figure. I fuck around, brain cells crack. Y'all playing at your power, but you ain't got no crew.
Through the mist, you missed the mystic misfit. Through the splits and kissed and lifted his kid overhead as he slowly bled, then broke his neck, having no regrets. Lightning struck the kid rising up, his eyes were shut, it was tight as fuck. The misfit skin in a twisted spin. If you're listening, this is interesting. The misfit skin, it melted like ice. He fell and died, I felt it, I cried. The child ascended in a cloud of light, so loud and bright it was a powerful sight. Sky turned to black and I heard a crack like the earth had fractured, but worse than that, I'd freeze, I stood cold, or reason would fold. I even stood boldly as the demon took hold.
I scratched my ankle. The stone tablet dismantled itself when it crashed onto the ground into the other rocks. The chasm presented itself in elaborate fashion. A color darker than black kid engulfed a sacrificial bundle of limbs. A shadow form of a shade or specter took form. It took hold of whatever it could manage to get its hands around. The surface rippled, causing mountains in its wake. I held on tight as the face of my mate contrived, contused, then was consumed. His last words loomed. If I were you, I wouldn't get too close. I took off my shirt and stuffed it inside of a pouch. Tried to camouflage myself into the brush on top of this freshly erected Alp. The terrain shifted yet again. Around my head spins. Pieces, no chunks. These shapes carting off. I give up, I give in. Standing while I still can. I look like the muscle diagram of a man.
Why don't you fucking listen occasionally? You might learn something.
I bring you like a pop bagel on my desk. Hustling best. Weapon we cut you on. Say you address. Mind sock at your eye. Pop you a bless. How you feeling the flows? I cop you a dress. What the fuck that mean? I'm addressing you as the worst. Fuck around, behemoth, mind the nurse. I blow like a nuclear Oppenheimer just designed. I put your mind down to the grind and watch you shovel out your spine. Past the nature. Armageddon with the bait ya. Hero the beggars ain't got the shit to flavor. My flows be Aphrodite, ripping minds up to Menite. Your menage a trois ain't feeling it. Got snakes in the grass, I'm cutting it. Fuck around, grow like a flower, burn the whole shit down. I make your mind like a gospel. You're more like Gizmo before I feed you after midnight. Emcees don't even write no more, they just muddling down. Mine bending the crown, I got swords that'll cut you down. Spit flames, I burn like cold chills. Now you don't even wanna pay the hospital bill. Can't even deduct what I reconstruct. I put your mind down, leave it downloaded, break the hard drive and say here you go now. Muddling down, mine bending the crown.
You already know.
Muddling down, mine bending the crown.
You already know.
The can of soda fizzed after the tab was cracked open. Who shook this son of a bitch? Now everyone's laughing. I watch films with closed captions. You're afraid you'll miss out on the action, yet you question me regardless regarding key elements of the plot. Sometimes you have to do more than just watch. You'll never know a true victory because they annexed first and second place. Among other things, a rat in a maze escaped. I know why the cage bird sings. The task was daunting and you quit before you even started. A crocodile crawled onto somebody's front porch. I watch with a smirk, put the chicken on the grate and let it smoke. You already know. Stop at the store to buy more. Sir, in a passively aggressive way, that comment was indirect. I convect. In a room without a window, we let them set. Rub it in like a mitt. You're an orphan because someone offed your parents instead of letting them live. Kid, I'm awfully advantageous due to the amount of extra work I tend to put in.
You already know.
Slim the phone down, call the rabbits. See you like Jason Bourne carrying a hatchet. Back to 10, just lines like commandment. Victorious victories, spit you open like a hickory. Dickory dock, your balls ain't off the top. They read on your wrist like a promo kid. We can't whip it the green, 2-3 MC. Speak your mind divinely, right? Hit your bitches off the mound like Willie Mays. You're in the rage, quit a video game. But you can't carry and lace with duct tape. Bust they bubbles like quick, see the stand tape. Rumor dope, double the trouble. The odds are in the double. When I cause a rubble, I curse the dope. When I dog collar match rules, I pity the fool. When I cause a havoc, cause I'm a prodigy dodging the space odyssey. Properly, I'm fatal with levels of heated metals. Storm through your hole like Mecha Godzilla. You wait your timeline in a flash, just like the Batman who laughs. Coming with vicious shots to the rib, the angle unearned. Leaning on my every word, as sharp as a turn. I come with rituals that ridicule, sharp as HD and 4K TV. Another tool for the trays that's sharpening my blade. Nigga off the cage like Mankind vs. Undertaker. Starbucks should be great foes. Take those homeless jokes, pitching no hitters like shooters, Joe Jackson. I go in my bag like Indiana Jones goes in the sack. Rapidly patch, my mission is impossible. Yeah, I just a bunch of freak shows, magnetic with no real body. All games change, that's why I gotta change the game. Charge it to my car, put down the bar. Lean shot and all, roasted chose clones, boosted bones, mostly smoke blunts. Leave ashes on your couch. Watch a girl get pumped like Adam 22. Deuce in the wallabies. Don't review, call it a soul exchange. Poor position, when I shoot him with wisdom. Come more accidents than collisions. Hey yo, 3 MCs, SH, double. Hey yo, I'm a genius with it, Agent Zero like you ballerinas. You ain't seen it, you ain't seen me. Can't even read me. Come with nightmares like what's craving, leaving no evidence with no relevance. Telepaths hate me cause I'm a present. They can't sense more aurora, operating on another level. Reveling what you do, dominate minds, get screwed by decisions you make. Don't worry, I take what I want, can't hold a candle to it. Gotta have that Ric Flair drip, ripping, devouring, eating. Would you repeat? You can't defeat it when you see it. What you can't see, try and be me if you please. Twisted minds have discovered more. It's the Dr. Mind Bender, and you like the 5th of November. I don't care, I got that persona now.
Leave the country, don't drink the water unless it's bottled or something to that extent. I walk through an underground tunnel with a joyous stroll to my step. Mr. Yo looking cordial. The corgi on the slab was as close to Mandarin. Joggers with little to no melanin is what I'm talking when I said premium selection, kid. I'll take 'em back to where the rainwater drips from the ceiling onto the stairs. A house for sale that's been like that for years. 3 MCs orbit around one another as it would so appear. Someone found another body in the field. The scene is real, all too real.
Real to real, feel the sting of a flying dart. A mean guy, have a keen eye like you're buying art. And dying fast isn't an option. We're offering, investing on testing, concoctions and profiting. 3 MCs being seen wearing cloaks, not cheap like the fiends we inbreed sharing smokes. A needle point through the haze of a days as you lay trying to break, check the chains of restraint. And the pain's often great, but we're making advances. Drop your guard and we're taking advantage. And you're waking in bandages, piss missing organs. We're taking advantage like kids dissing orphans. Passing vials, laughing wildly at times. Narcotics are not missed if your child needs a line. We design our own remedies and potions. These remedies are potent and tend to leave you broken.
Motherfucker,
You cheated on your significant other with a stranger. I can't say that I've been there and done that. Your head, once I rocked it, went splat on the concrete. Can you not read directions? You set this whole thing up backwards. 3 MCs persecute the procession. His sleight of hand was a successful act of deception. I treat the microphone like a miter saw. The cannonball was round and blew a hole the size of a small town through your jaw. How many times have I told you already to put it down? I put it down, brah, and I put it down hard. We swarm like whores in Taiwan, moving along. You're dubious in nature. I lay claim to a virgin in the forest, in nature.
Get off the stage, respectfully speaking, get off the stage. Respectfully speaking, get off the stage. I'ma powerbomb you through the stage, fuck my rage. It's killer beat, kill, I kill, got the flow. Exposing doers, you ain't got a protective sleeve. I'm a Draco, utopian, heavenly aurora. You ain't got shit, but you a coroner. I take dead bodies back like a galaxy soldier. Behold the coldest, I'm sick, got the virus. Had corona once, but it unscrewed me like a papyrus. I studied the knowledge, and I put it back in college. Her body's so plastic, she's looking like a sex doll. Coming like a tsunami, I'm a block a tsunami. Kicking it like kung fu and karate, straight to your body. Get off the stage, respectfully speaking, get off the stage.
like a demolition crew. Missing you, 3 MCs, give them a listen too. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Mission through, now feed me another beat. Nothing sweet like a fear of diabetes. Like a greedy kid, feeding with contempt, try the feces. Try to beat me, I welcome the challenge. Quite extreme, need to tell them to balance. Sell them a gallon of some watered down whiskey. Like an abattoir, come and slaughter now with me. Now it hits me like slaps to the face. Wow, it's shifty and that's a disgrace. Wrapped in a race like testing new steroids. Always watch your back like assessing new hemorrhoids. Dudes enjoy a crew of proud gays. Screw them boys, we'll do it our way.
Oh no, not again. Burn the game down at 600 degrees Celsius. Can't melt this. I just burned the inverse easily, causing a nuclear reaction. It's just that easy, folks. See, y'all the last of us apocalypse now, causing rougher shit than an HBO documentary. Mentally.
Who authorized me to be an MC? Bro, you ought to try weed to feed your men's needs. Or your daughter's fly niece could leave the memories. Get that horror right each and please them, then leave. Never speak of this incident again. 3 MCs are never weak, so I've given them a 10. These MCs are clever, deep, flow with wisdom when they pan. We won't see them ever cease, nope, so listen when they planned. Send a friend a link to this release. When we end this, then we tend to drink to this release. It's a deadly, endless trend when you drink to get relief. Have a friendly bend and dance when you drink to end the beef. Send the chief my best and have a rest, my friend, to end the grief. It's best to grab a breast, and when that ends, then please ingest a slab of Bex. Don't mention them MCs in jest. Who's rapping next? No takers, I throw nose breakers every verse. Get a dose of my dope flow shakers every first, every second, every third, every fourth, every fifth bar. The 6th is the sickest and the 7th always hits hard. We discard bars that aren't up to par. If you diss Stark's bars, and he'll carve up your heart. Moving faster than masters of fish filleting. Then we transfer your carcass to ditch, fill it in. Drilling incisions in different locations. No patience, life matters indifferent. No patience, no patent won't pay 10 cents. Censor me, escape them and slay 10 gents. Sensibly, I sense a bleak future for few to believe in. Excuse my confusion, I'm new to the region and used to the regeneration of limbs. And on this weak generation of Sims. Dusty streets, trust me peeps, I'm a local. It's not backwards like beats on a vocal. At this tight bend, men feed on a yokel. This guy has 5 wives to beat on, it's so cool. Snake charmers, mate, armor is suggested. A virus breaks out, a plague, a farmer is infected. His armor is injected, he's left with a swollen tongue. He's found cold and numb, his hand holds a golden gun. Sold for rum, stake it high, cost his livestock. Is slaughtered 4 or 5 shots who bought the man knives. Chop them all into fine scotch fillets and other cuts like an ashtray. I extinguish fags and love but back to the story. This is tangible. Before the farmer died, he infected all his animals. The people died in rhythm till they'd risen where they fell. The next stop is the village where they dwell.
Fucking nasty, kid.
Another 13 paces as we crept like animals with carapaces. The barn on the farm off the back acreage seemed to be our closest vantage point. Shit kicked the gates open with the force of a rhinoceros. So much for being quiet. A metallic clang rang atop the silence. What the fuck were you expecting? Our weapons were an array of the kinds that condone violence. If it wasn't for the cocaine in my sinuses, I would have commented. The stench was ghastly, cadaverous, fucking nasty, kid. When the last line's effect had abated, I reached for the nearest opiate and asked if anyone wanted to share it. Fully focused in like Star Fox, doing somersaults, or Baby Daisy drifting a curve in Mario Kart. I heard the knock of a tipped glass and spilt over liquid running off some sort of table. Made the universal closed fist like a US Navy Marine SEAL before engagement. And like magic, these bastards manifested. The one that had been first shared the head of a man, but walked on all fours like a goat. Another abomination, thing, creation, lumbered behind. Its potbelly dragged, a pig that stood on its hind legs cried for battle, surrounded by satyrs. Fucking the chatter of cattle distracted once their larynxes didn't match with anything that would make for a decent steak. In encumbering shape, the sheep stared and showed no restraint.
In the darkness, my mind playing tricks. I'm cemented in place as if I'm laying bricks, as if I'm saying 666, speak of the devil. Here comes the boss of monsters, the peak of the level. No hiding now, lying down under cover to be so I'm not the type who wants to hide, not one to wonder if I'm gonna be found. These doubts I leave out of the equation and stay in the creep's house. So to speak, no retreat, no surrender. I'm so frozen, don't notice these smoking embers. My feet broken, trembling as I stand in place. I rewrote the ending with my planned escape. Plan to take the safest option here. The hand of fate, too late to stop the fear. Turned around, heard rumbling all around as the house burned down and crumbled to the ground.
But not before, hey look, the door swung open. Imagine the porridge your grandma makes with strawberries for breakfast. A body laboriously sways as its skin drips into a puddle. The blisters seem to pulsate, or at the very least, fester. Uncle like Fester, my niece is your daughter. Once in the Ford, I told you to put on your seatbelt. The paint job has since chipped and is speckled with rust. I fought fires as a volunteer at the department. You should have not been prying. All available units from the scanner replaces the static. I itch at the corner of my mustache and then ask, what compelled you so hastily to undertake that task alone? Especially after saying I would go. Still frozen like how when I pulled you from that specific spot on the floor. You should be grateful. Instead, you haven't even said thank you. I wave my open hand in front of your face and say, hello.
But I'm frozen and right now I'm closing in on insanity. I'd gladly be on sandy beaches and I see the man standing glancing with a hand. He reaches for a flashlight, a flash bright as satellites is shining in my face. I'm in a space, what's the matter guy? I bat an eye, if I had the mind I have to try. I know my foe is ropeable, I know that he'll be back tonight. Behind the fireman, a fire manifests in the form of a monster and I wanna stand erect. But I'm planted next to this useless old stretcher as this fireman makes useless cold gestures. Then he's swallowed by a fiery form and I rise and revive as if I was reborn. I leap on him as I break through the dark. As the flames make their mark, I run a stake through his heart.
What the fuck? As the days progress, you talk to me less and less. I punched through a nuclear warhead, and then my knuckles bled. The universe unfolds as the story was being told. In a world like Tolkien's, I slept with the maiden lady of the dragons. Aloof yet confident, I practice so much I look nonchalant. I can tell by the way that she stares, she has the soul of an old haunted doll. I'm tighter than a hole that hasn't been yet pounded. There are like 800 available tables. Why run away from something beautiful? Mr. Yo dines alone. 3 Emcees. A nice piece of meat divided by a bone. Rest assured, you won't be dying alone. I'm here and I'm near. The knife jiggles as it scrapes inside alongside your bones. You wiggle like the wiggles against the restraints. I have to say, I like the way that you shake. raised an eyebrow. In a pit, the dog had 3 heads like Serbius. If she doesn't submit, I'll simply move along to another and not detest. Kid, I'm like the best. On a bicycle, I rode past your home on my way home. The blur of a blade as it raises before it is lowered, cut through the flesh and stopped at the bone. I like the way that you shake.
Hey, yeah.
Mister Yo. I like the way that you shake.
Hey, yo.
Mister Yo.
Hey, yo. You can't compete against a lyrical arm dome. With the complex lines, perplexing content. Even the brightest minds couldn't figure it out. I put colleges out of business. Just ask ITT Tech. I came that correct. Test couldn't score what I implore. Destroy what you decoy. See me, boy. This what they retail value with high scores. I'm in my prime, shine like the blind. I'm a star in this sun going over. Anytime we wanna rhyme, gotta extinguish the entirely. Lyrically not nearly like a stop sign. I parallel park bars on the track, ready for takeoff like a test pilot. You're not even in my stratosphere. I run through your troposphere, down in your atmosphere, crushing, crashing through like comets and asteroids. Past is asking me if I'm faster than the Flash. When I'm reversing the earth, all the way down the tectonic plates, I am that great.
Don't talk yourself out of it. Just do it, then suffer the consequences through. If need be, I am that great. Like plates that stay hanged across generations. The spaceship that we came in didn't crash land it. I got like 5 or 6 broads in one of the pods for when we take off. 3 Emcees. She cut the top off at the midsection. I cut your midsection and kept it running like a morning routine. The cigarette tastes clean. What is it? A Camel? I only smoke Black and Milds, bro. Girls with cut off denim shorts give me the aux cord and ensues from the speakers. Mac DeMarco. Black Sabbath on the playlist for later because I want to fuck your mother. I am my saving grace. On your playlist, I skipped Wu-Tang because I would rather listen to Drake. LOL. Sometimes that is a real thing. The pins on my dashboard inserted themselves into your face once I braked. The seagull gulled above, watching this all take place. A neon sign illuminates. A brick building looms like the moon that I want to create some distance between. I gleam. I radiate the type of light poets write about, including myself. On a chart like stars, I'm the Paragon. Is there anything else, son? Conversations used to come easy. It seemed every day there was an endless plethora of things to say. How quickly that all changed. It still stings when I attempt to get close. You treat me like the scorpion with its metasoma curled. I used to love a girl, now I don't really know what to call it anymore. We used to hold hands on our way into the supermarket until I decided to push the cart. And no more, shall we part? But oh, how I was wrong. When I think about what is better, I struggle and I miss you.
Just walk away in peace. We tried, seems I can't talk away the beef. Revise speak, be kind, keep silent is the forward way to seek. Made it seems there's no one on my side. Create the greatest theme park, no one on my ride. To throw one on the fire, fry a piece of fish. You hoes have no desire, lie to reef a bitch. Feed the kids when you're finished taking care of yourself. Stop and smell and feel that withered vacant chair. Take your share or greater, yeah, make it fair. Prepare to see you in court if you dare to take it there. A vacant stare is imprinted on the mirror. Now I'm long past the day I first squinted, long and shivered. Now those winners on the river, not gonna give her, just a blizzard on the liver. Now I'm no longer with her.
That is, until we get back together. We are like that couple that's been together forever since high school, albeit on and off, but this is real life. We fight like Dana White, and I get discouraged only when I think about it. So caught up in the moment, between moments, I punish myself over existing. You wave a knife at me that you got from the kitchen, in no shape to be cooking. That is when I started to look at you different.
Lights in the sky on a night in July would be frightening if I didn't like seeing my finest guides keeping eyes on these spies speaking lies. It's a wise peeping eye sneaking by, keep in mind. Deep inside the vessel, tightly nestled in a nook, a button which when lightly pressed will trigger a device no bigger than a rice grain. In my veins a light pain, it triggers my brain. Telepathically we communicate, it's brief, keep it super straight. The chief speaks and you obey. We seek peace and do no change unless it's you, but who's to say it's not just a stupid game? What we do's okay, thousands of years on this galaxy we've travelled, leaving no stone unturned. Bro, that earns us a ballad, reads and turns us to palace, weaving goblets from this granite. Earn trust to balance even problems on this planet. Come aboard, son, a door in the sky. The humming door, son, is calling you high. Lay here, take a beer, mate, cheers. All your questions saw the preference for assessment. Say dear, we'll make it clear, wait here. Store the lesson, sort of assess them for your reference.
After I take them, there is no chance of a return. Earth is just another stop on the course, charting the unknown in search of a new home not torn by war. The smoke swirls mixed in with the dirt. Upon our descent, that meant that if you caught a whiff, you came to on the ship. Don't question the motive. This thing has a motor unlike anything you've ever seen before. A pleasant odor arose, or did you imagine? I wear a uniform that designates me as captain. You might be thinking that you're being held captive. You ride against restraints. A voice emanates digitally that it's for your own safety, or did it come telepathically from my brain? An IV trickles into your vein. I was Ivy League if you want to compare grades. What is the last thing you remember? A computer simulates a model resembling yourself, which could be distorted, drinking a cold one under the sun at a picnic. The truth should be undisputed. Your BPM increases on the monitor. A tube that through it flowed ooze, menaced from the peripheral of your vision, came into focus. A beaker that slowly added mass to its volume. You follow the tube until you lose it. Look down to notice they got some sort of pump, and it's pumping. It's probably been pumping. Have it be noted, the test subject is unresponsive.
Baritone flow, low blow, making Irwin jokes. Great start to make Stark spark, making murder folks. You heard of those three rapping dudes, happen to find a tape, mind your face, find the bass slapping you. Final place sets a soup bone, who knows, chapter 2 could be on its way. You wanna wait, got a rap to do. Grab a brew, grab a slab or two. Grab a brew for your crew, grab a slab or two. Grab a boost juice or a moose if you've had a few. No matter who you are, come through the archway and cast day. Log on to the embers and remember all the past greats. I'm talking Rakim and Big Daddy Kane. And what's more, I'm asking for a big fatty mane, cause that's the way that our community grows. Yo, you gotta roll a doobie, bro, for me and you both. There's no room for freeloaders or poachers of flows. We go for the throws like the coaches of hoes, going scrotum to nose like Chuck Trainer. Fuck a dame up, man, you're going off the rails like a schmuck who stuck a train up. Tough enough to fuck your brain up and drain the past from a cut in your ruptured lungs and guts into a cup. And use the stuff to loosen up joints and lube the nuts and screws on my weapons that are getting useless due to rust. A crew to trust if you're lusting the brutal rough. Super tough music, the woo introduced to us. So who's in the mood to fuss and make an issue does that wouldn't break a tissue, brittle as a flake of fish food.
It is then I was reminded there is no greater sorrow and misery than to recall on times of happiness. She was found unconscious on the couch. I bang a drum like Nick Cannon. As a constant reminder, I've been branded. A pentagram hangs and it swivels. I'm that strand of hair in your mouth that you can't seem to get out when I open my mouth and you don't like what I'm talking about. A trumpet rumbles, announcing the arrival of angels. I saw at your neck like playing the violin. They are flabbergasted. I'm on the battlement like a bastion. The parapets didn't block much, kid. A jellyfish sting can be toxic. She said she was allergic to shellfish. I lay a couple bricks behind me to help my friends like I was playing lemmings. I get stressed out over a blemish. Mr. Yo and his resourcefulness goes unnoticed in times of need because the situations always seem to be dire. The driver of the American-made muscle car was muscular, brah. I engage in combat with a long bat. Told the model to arch her back more because the pose isn't inappropriate enough for our calendar. If there was a cure, it would be curable. On her back like to the future, now spread open like eagle, I deemed the results distasteful. A muffler muffles sound. I'm in and out like a... Fuck it. I'm in and out like... What the fuck is your problem?
Decisions, visions and disillusions, confusing arguments. Now I'm taking my time, boom goes the moon. Smart marks giving her a headbands. Dumb fact, she's dumb. Give me a girl with good measurements. I go pleasure myself with the pussy. Dump her like a TikTok, dump her like a Tonka truck. Go yeah, when I knuckle up. Suck Emcees, don't punch. Read what you saw, break your mind in half. I'm proud of me, yo. Fuck the future, snap your mind in half. Ain't being pinned on 3 years like Rome. Y'all on the fall, the downfall. I break you like a earthquake. I'ma storm out your reports, burn through your plasma. I got the torch. I'm sicker when I'm sitting on my porch. Jot down rhymes and lines, putting darts in my lines. Check the box, the email key, check the stock. I leave verses on tracks. Got all the shit in the vault. You can take it to the bank. Duh, what the fuck?
getting kind of tired waiting for you. Her waist was soft like a plushie. She may not be skinny, but she isn't ugly like Coyote. I'm on a tear like Voltaire. Indeed, kid, you're green like Candide. I breathe in and exhale air. Shave my head a couple times a year, just like my beard. The cut was subtle, but went deep enough to scar. I got bars like Kit Kat. Your mom lusts after me like Chris Pratt. I come inside of small packages like Tic Tacs.
That a gift wrapped hit that and burn one down. I turn around and face it further now. I turn around and chase it. Heard the sound of murder on the tape deck. Nervous now, prefer the song to great sex. Mate, check it, it's a 3Mcees jam. Made a checkmate for fakes when they 3Mcees slam. If you see him, please stand and salute, man. The truth is a fire truck's on standby when we man the booth. Hand it to us, playing two up on the tour bus, and you can trust we'll leave you flustered even if just two of us are due to crush the mic in a suit and crusty tie. Sheep blood and yo, who's the other guy? It's George Stark, the dark half I blast past. Belittle and minimize you like a taskbar. Riddle and drink a fine brew via glass jar. Any shit'll do sometimes like that last bar. Ha ha, yo, I'm taking the piss. Make a risk assessment, says it's safest to diss. All you makers of piss weak shit speaking raps. Stab you in the bladder, leave a piss leaking gash.
I come for your neck.
I'm fast like a climber, put down your Oppenheimer. Can't rhyme a dime till you touch your knives. Thrive off prime like Logan Paul. What a doll face, fuck toidles, play me tall. My tricks ain't for kids, these tricks are darts at your wig. I got more hearts than love, I'm 3 serving 3, that's tennis lingo if you ain't understanding me. Triplicate what you try and replicate. Triplicate what you try and replicate. I duplicate what I eliminate. Deliveries, derivatives, with multiplication and division. You ain't got no addition without subtraction. I be maxing and relaxing, counting fractions. You're just a half measure, I'm a full psychotic antibiotic. Can't solve problems without college and no shoe polish. I leave your fridge broke without a gun smoke. 2 tabs and you're gone to the great beyond. Telling them, Captain's Log Supplemental.
Almost there and a shot rings out as I'm dropping down. There's a hot sting now and I've got this pounding pain in my head. Blood drops spit now and it's staining my threads, and no training could ever prepare me for this. No warning signs where we enlist, just various written accounts of the nightmare. We lay in trenches and count off the nights there. Nights where we barely sleep a wink. It's life and death and we rarely need to think, and we're scared we need a drink. Or maybe 30 and we'll settle his grip with a medal if we say he's worthy. Know this, we play it dirty. No referees, no pressure please, yeah, there'll be no death for me, so let it be like Paul McCartney. The passion hardly is sufficient to be driven and persistent like Ash Barty. And that's partly why I'm writing this and crying with the deepest of regrets to stretch the final minutes I exist. I spiraled in a violent twist, I missed the mission's brief. I decorate my necklace with his missing teeth. It's a myth, we wish for peace, we wish for grief. We won't listen to your plead or give a speech, that shit is weak. We hit a peak and all decency is lost. It's a shame we pay so greatly, but there needs to be this cost.
Used to be simple. I grab a wristful and twist until it becomes painful. Banging out flows over beats by Soup Bone. She took a bus to New York and then flew home. I knew her since before she shot her first porn. Mr. Yo, 3Mcees until the crypt. Read the tome, I'm Marissa Tomei. Have the kids spit my lyrics back to me. You're a regurgitated lyricist, and that's putting it lightly. I'm the purest sense, concentrate. If you're trying to lose weight and still feel the need for alcohol, you should try drinking your liquor straight. I fashioned a steak and pounded it into your breastplate because I didn't like your face. Statements like Aikman. I lifted shoulders earlier and now they kind of ache, man. I watched her take 8 men and left a comment and said section that read impressive. They never see me coming. I covered the covenant with a journalist because that was the only way I was getting in.
With let's the first explode. flow on the track like a nuclear bomb. Check your armor, remain calm. Break these CD players with no skip features. Crack your phone easily, use your Wi-Fi password. Guess what? You can't stream now. Now you gotta dream, pay attention and read. Get a tombstone power driver through the canvas. Can't make art to this. I'm a futurist like Starks. Kept clones next up the battle. It's a Venomous rap, crazy sides, main minds. Drilling lines off cliffs and gear shifts. Rolling for 8 hits in a duffel bag. Muzzle minds like a psychic silence. I record rhymes like violence. Reliance on options. You got you contradicting. Lyrically, I'm a mind bender. See me like 4 dimensions. Can't see me on Earth 2. Rip you or lyrically dismantle you. Dispute your thoughts for scraps. No cap, I'm that exact.